Hey guys, and welcome to something that, well, as you can tell, it's a little different. So if you've never actually gone to one of my Twitch streams where I often do have face cam, this is the first time I've ever had face cam at all on my YouTube videos. So first of all, hello, this is me. I hope it meets your expectations or whatever, I don't know. And of course, if now you're interested in my Twitch streams, now that you know I have face cam, the link to that will be in the description, as well with all my other things that I do, my Twitter, my Discord. But anyways, what a day we had yesterday. Holy crap, I was so hyped. Every game, other than the South Korea-Australia game, I think could be classified as an upset. I think according to some people, maybe Canada was favored over France. That was really 50-50. But we had China taking down Finland. And then, of course, the biggest upset on the day is the United States losing 3-1 to the United Kingdom, who, as I'm recording this, I'm kind of crazy for missing this, but I gotta get this done. United Kingdom have now drawn 2 maps in a row versus South Korea, so that's crazy. So huge props to the United Kingdom. They have come out in a way that no one expected them to. But anyways, I am here bringing you because one, I wanted to test out the Overwatch World Cup viewers replay capabilities, and two, because I thought it would be fun, I wanted to take a look at the United States attack at Kings Row and do kind of a VOD review analysis thing. So, for those of you who didn't watch, for some context, Kings Row was the second map in the United States versus the United Kingdom match. The United States won Ilios, which was the first one, pretty convincingly. They won Lighthouse, I think it was 100-0. And then the second map was Ruins, and they wasn't quite as convincing, but the United States did pull it out. So the United States have already won the first map, and as you can see, the United Kingdom have done their attack already before the United States attacked. They did a pretty good job on the attack. The United States did pretty good on defense. They were able to keep the United Kingdom from taking point B, which usually for Kings Row is quite good. That means you have a very good shot of winning. But spoiler alert, the United States will get full held here by the United Kingdom on Kings Row. The United Kingdom will then go on to win the next 2 maps. It just seems like this attack is what really changed the momentum. And the USA were never quite able to get it back. So that's why I wanted to take a look at this attack right here. So if you are excited, I'm excited too. This is my first time doing a VOD review like this at all, so please let me know if you liked it in the description. I mean, not in the description, in the comments. As you can tell, I'm not very scripted here. Let me know in the comments. I did actually, okay, just for a couple things I want to say. I have actually watched through this a couple of times, so I have some talking points that I already have in my mind. And two, I've done it a couple of times because I've recorded this a couple of times and it hasn't worked. The recording has been super laggy. I think I fixed it, but the fix was that I had to limit my game FPS to 30 frames per second. For the purposes of VOD reviews, I think that's fine. I think it's okay. I'm just letting you know. It was either the game is 30 frames per second or the recording is 1 frame per second. And I think you know what we'll do. So hopefully the frames go okay here. But anyways, like I was saying, this is the first time I've ever done a VOD review like this before. Obviously, I'm not scripted like I am in most of my other videos. So if you did enjoy it and you want to see more things like this, I would be totally up to doing things like this more often if you all enjoy it. So please let me know in the comments. This is kind of a test to see how content like this would do on my channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy it, let me know. Your feedback is very important to me. And if people like it, then I might do things like this more. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my webcam now because I want you all to be able to see everything that is possible. You probably saw a black flicker. That's because I just opened up the game. So we're going to quickly, we're going to take us, oh, I pressed F. Oops. That makes it go back 10 seconds. That's my bad. Ooh, uh-oh. Okay, that was weird. That wasn't a frame drop from the game. That was a frame drop from OBS. We're gonna lower the desktop audio real quick. So real quick. So we're going to stop it real quick before this so we can take a look at the comps that we're running here. The United Kingdom is running just straight up goats. They're running goats. They're running, well, it's what you'd expect goats to be. You got the Orion, you got the Zarya, you got the Diva, Moira, Lucio, Brigitte. Classic goats from the United Kingdom. And spoiler alert, United Kingdom are going to stay on goats throughout this entire attack. Meanwhile, from the United States, we're seeing something very interesting. We're seeing a dive. We're seeing a Genji Sombra dive from them. Now, I think what the United States was expecting was for the United Kingdom to take the sort of Orisa, Widowmaker, Junkrat offense, where everyone just kind of hangs out on this high ground right here. You have the Orisa shield, you have the Junkrat just raining bombs from above, and you got the Widowmaker headshotting people all over the place. I think that's what the United States were going for here, and this dive is pretty well suited to taking care of a comp like that. But when it comes up to playing a comp like that against goats, it's a lot more difficult, because if you get caught out, and you can just get completely melted by everyone else on this team. So to start off this game, the compositional advantage will go towards the United Kingdom here. But let's see how the United States will go out for this. So we're gonna go through a little bit and see, and let's just take a look here. All right, so now it's pretty obvious what is going on here. So the United States have their whole dive area right here. They did not see anyone on the high ground like they expected. So they're like, all right, let's just go on to the point. So we can see we got Hydration, Muma, Space. Where's Sinatra on that Genji? Where are you? Oh, he's going up onto that high ground right now. Okay, that makes sense. So he's gonna start going on to the point. Meanwhile, they have sent Raucus and Moth back here. Raucus is right here on the Ana. He has nice sight lines onto the point here, so he can pump up some healing. And they also has the Moth down with him to try and boop any enemies away. What they are not expecting is Team UK, who have all gathered up here into this right building. I don't know if that's like, I don't think we call it hotel. I don't know what it's actually called. I forget. But as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and go to Fusion's view here, and you'll see what happens. Everyone comes back, you get the call, and they all just come in. They melt Raucus, and well, it's already over. They did a very good job of isolating Raucus and taking him out very early from the fight. The dive obviously was a fail. The United States will pick up a tick here because it took the UK a little while to get back onto the point, but that's no big deal. With the Ana gone, the United States kind of knows that the jig is up, and they're going to go ahead and go back to spawn, where we're going to be seeing a crap load of swaps from them. So I'm just going to wait for the Sinatra to make the swap. Alright, and now we see the United States taking a comp that is not quite goats. We saw Muma swap onto the Reinhardt. Sinatra is now on the Zarya. Hydration is on the Brigitte. That's all classic goat swaps. Meanwhile, Raucus, instead of swapping onto a Moira, goes onto the Zenyatta. Now, this is a very interesting swap. Obviously, Moira is often favored in plain old goats compositions, my bad. Plain old goats compositions because she can just chain heal everyone on the team at once and just put out massive loads of healing to teammates that are all grouped up together like that. Raucus sweeping on the Zenyatta. I think the United States is going for a little bit more firepower with that Discord orb. However, I don't know if I love it because the United Kingdom's comp right now is all about sustain and about staying alive throughout any damage you can throw at them, even with Discord Orb. So, I don't know if I like this change. I think that the United States may have just been better just running goats v goats if that's what they wanted to do, but they decided to sacrifice healing and sustain for a little more firepower in the Discord Orb. So, let's see how this turns out in this next fight. The first really goats v goats interaction here. We're going to go ahead and go behind here and watch as the United States are going to they're going to do this little dance here by the statue. And watch Muma here. Watch him here. He pops out, and he charges right into the enemy team, gets pushed into the back, and there's nothing that he can do to escape. So, let's pause for a second here and go, well, that seemed like a really idiotic charge from Muma there, didn't it? He just charged right into everyone else. He got slept, he got stunned, there was nothing he could do. Well, let's take a look at it from... Oh, whoops, pressed the wrong button there. Let's take a look at it from Muma's perspective right now. Let's take a look here. Alright, one more time, but let's slow it down. Let's slow it down to half speed and see what happens here. So he goes back, he shields, gets ready, fire strikes. Here we go. Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see the Zarya right click that pushed Muma just like a foot to the left? I'll play it one more time. Watch Mikey here. Watch Mikey here. Watch the right click from Mikey. Once again, Muma comes back in. Mikey's right click pushes Muma a foot to the left. Now, I think my main question here is what was Muma trying to accomplish by charging there anyways? I'd have to guess, my best guess is that he was hoping that maybe he could catch someone that had overextended a little bit against the statue. But we'll go ahead and watch it one more time from Mikey A's perspective. So first of all, Mikey A, very, very high charged here. So we're gonna go ahead and watch it through. Yep. That is exactly what happened. Muma got pushed out just a little bit by that Zarya right click. Pushed him right into this team. Muma gets melted, and without the Zar and without the Reinhardt, there's nothing else that anyone can do. The push is already over. And that's something that I want to be clear about. I want to be clear that comes across in this video is that the United States, they made tiny mistakes, or the United Kingdom just made tiny little openings. That Zarya right click, pushing Muma a foot to the left, or to the right, I don't know, a foot out of position, is what ended up making the United States lose that fight. That was what snowballed the fight absolutely unwinnable for the United States here. That's just crazy to me when I figured out that was what happened. It was like, I was like, whoa, you know? It's crazy how little tiny things like that can have such a huge effect, and that's why this game is so cool to me. So the United States are gonna go ahead and go back. Hydrate. Sinatra just ends up taking the hit. He goes back to point. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the next fight. Now 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the battle. This is going to be one of those. Now, before we engage in this fight, this is going to be one of those Super Saiyan fights where there are going to be so many ults coming out at once, and it's going to be very confusing, so I'm going to try my best and get through the fight easier for you. But before we start, let's take a look at what the United Kingdom are going to have what looks like all 5 ults coming up right now. And I'll give this to the United States. Even though they made a lot of swaps early on in the game after their first push, they aren't very far behind on ult economy at all. So the United Kingdom are going to have First Strike here. They're going to have the Coalescence. They also have the Earth Shatter from Fusions up right now. And in just a few moments, they'll have the Rally, they'll have the Graviton Surge, and they will have the Sound Barrier, and they will get the Self-Destruct in a little bit during this fight as well. The United States are about to have everything except for their Earth Shatter. So they're going to have Hydration, they're going to have Sinatra, Space, Raucous Moth. All of them are going to have their ults up in just a little bit. So let's press play here and see what happens. The United States tries to go around here. So here we go, and the first batch of ults come out right now. Okay, so that was the first batch of ults. The United Kingdom have invested Rally, they've invested Graviton Surge, they've invested Coalescence, and in just a second they're also going to invest their Self-Destruct here. they also invested their self-destruct. To get this off, the United States did invest their 2 support ultimates. They used up Rally. They also used Transcendence. But the United States are about to have their own self-destruct. They're about to have their own they're about to have their own beat, and they also have the Graviton Surge. The United States, now that the United Kingdom they've used 4 ults here, and they haven't been able to get anything out of it. But these 2 ults that the United Kingdom have left are going to be key, as you see here. So now the second batch of ults comes out. Yeah, alright. That was a lot of things. So that was like the second batch of ults that comes out. The United States uses their Graviton Surge, and they use their Self-Destruct, and they also use their Beat. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom is able to use just one Beat to pretty much nullify all of it and get away completely alive. So, great job by Cruz to hold on to everything, hold on to his Beat until something big could happen there. And he was able to pretty much keep his entire team alive throughout all of those ults coming out from the United States. And something that you probably noticed right now, Fusions has been holding on to his Earth Shatter this entire fight. Let's see what happens. And boom! And down everybody goes! The only 2 people that are still standing are Hydration and Sinatra. Muma goes down, Moth goes down, Space goes down, Raucous goes down. So if you're watching this, again, pretty easy to pinpoint Muma as the scapegoat here. Why wasn't his shield up? He had his shield down for like a full second before Fusions put his thing down. Let's take a look at it from Muma's perspective once again, because I think Muma got a lot of hate for this game, and some of it was deserved, some of it is not deserved, as you will see here. We'll slow it down some. Actually, let's put it down the normal mode for this. So Muma, now let's slow it down here. We'll slow it down. You see it? Did you see the Brigitte? This was not Muma being negligent. Muma actually knew that it was coming, but Kib did a great job stunning him. And there wasn't much that they could do there. So, again, these things that the United Kingdom is doing a great job of prioritizing Muma and making sure that he is not being able to do what he wants. Muma absolutely saw the Earth Shatter coming. He tried to put his shield up, but Kib on the Brigitte ends up stunning him and leaves it wide open for Fusions. So now let's take a look here, because something very curious happens here. So Muma goes down. Fusions is kind of back in enemy lines. He will end up getting focused down by the team. He will get focused down, but the damage is already done. Raucous is down. Everyone's down. Was that a rally I just saw from Hydration? It was a rally that I just saw from Hydration, alone in the room. So let's go back here. Let's take a look at it from Hydration's room. Hydration's perspective. We're going to go back one more time. So he comes back here to try and support Raucous. He's like, alright. So when Hydration uses this, Muma's already dead, Sinatra is dead, Raucous is dead, Space is about to die. And he's alone in this room. I don't understand why this happened. Sure, so let's play this forward a little bit. So I'll give this to Hydration. Because of the rally, he gets on and he is able to get away and get back to his team. So by using the rally there, actually, I'm not 100% sure if he would have been able to get back to his team. He might have gotten staggered. So by using the rally there, maybe Hydration was able to save himself from getting staggered. But now look at the United Kingdom. Now they're absolutely winning the ult economy battle. Kib is about to get his rally back up. And Makie has a slight advantage over Sinatra when it comes to the Graviton Surge. So there's just so much going on here. I feel like Hydration, sure, he ended up not getting staggered, but gosh, I don't think I think that's an ult that the United States wishes they had back. I don't think that was the best use of that ultimate. I think Hydration could have very much used that ultimate in a better way to benefit more of his teammates. Maybe on the next push, instead of trying to delay a push that was already there. Now, I think it is. The push was already dead, but I think it is fair to say that, you know, there is now a minute 45 seconds left on the clock, so maybe Hydration is very aware of that and just trying to save as much time as possible. But was the extra 10 seconds worth wasting a very high priority ultimate? I don't know. I would say no. I would say no. So let's press play here and see what happens now. So they're gonna go ahead and just kind of be on their own here. They're gonna go ahead and do this thing. Now, look at this. Everyone from the United States on this side. I think Moth is sitting behind the wall a little bit, except Raucus. Raucus thinks he can be sneaky here and try and get some pot shots. Maybe he's trying to take out Boombox here on the left, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Mikey's perspective. That's not what ends up happening. He gets 100%. 100%. He just gets completely wiped by his team. So I think this also speaks to a bit of the overconfidence that Team USA probably had. Raucus thought that maybe he could be sneaky and try and maybe pick someone off there. But gosh, there wasn't much he could do. So first of all, well, I mean, I'm in the tree. First of all, wait, let's go back one more time. Let's take a look at Smex's point of view real quick, which is F11. So he looks over. He sees, yeah. I think Smex might have been the guy, because he's the one who looked over and might have seen Raucus peek out from behind there. He told his team, Mike Ye's like, alright, I got this. Raucus is already down, and Muma has used his Earth Shatter here. As Raucus is dying, gets pretty much nobody. Yeah, that didn't get anybody. Fusions must have blocked it. Let's take a look here at Muma's. Let's take a look and make sure that's what happened. Let's make sure. Wow. I don't know if Fusion's blocked it, if it's so much that he just missed. Let's take a look one more time. Let's take a look at it from this perspective so we can see where the particles went. Yeah, that's just a straight up miss from Muma. Okay, so that we can call that. I've been giving Muma some props, giving Muma some slack. But that's an NA shatter. That's an NA shatter. Doesn't get. I could obviously see why he did that, but the United Kingdom did a great job getting out of the way there. Muma, Fusions didn't block it. Muma just got nobody. And Raucus is dead. The Earth Shatter, unfortunately, yet another wasted ultimate that they probably wish they could get back. Muma will get focused down, and now the USA are getting literally spawn camped. So now, this is, I think, the third attack that has gone very wrong for the United States. They have a minute 20 seconds left. And this goats v goats kind of thing that's happening is obviously not working. Why doesn't the United States swap at this point? I think this is the last point where you can really swap and you'll have enough time to be able to get some ults online, get something going. But the United States, maybe it's because Sinatra has his graph. Maybe they're thinking Sinatra will get a big graph and we'll turn it around there. And Raucus is about to have they're about to have both support ultimates as well. That might be what they're thinking, but man, we saw on Ilios hydration went Pharah, and United Kingdom couldn't do anything about it. It's bet on Lighthouse at least. United Kingdom were just completely awful on Lighthouse. And a lot of it had to do with the damage that hydration was giving to Pharah. Pharah worked very well before. And at least on point A here, Pharah is a very, very viable option for point A King's Row. So why doesn't the United States try for Mercy? Why don't they try something else? Because this is now the third time they've been forced away. This has been because of this Goats. Goats v Goats has not been working. The United Kingdom has had their number here so far. The only thing I can think of is that Sinatra says, I have Grav. I'm going to use Grav. That's our win condition. We get everyone. Easy win. So, United States, well, they're not going to swap onto the Pharah. They're not going to swap onto the Pharah. So now, Now, here's something interesting. I'm going to pause real quick. So, as you can tell, as of so far, the United Kingdom have been playing a pretty passive play style here with GOATs. They've been forcing the US to come to them, right? That changes this fight. That changes this fight. Here they come! So, Boombox uses his Coalescence to engage. All the United Kingdom just kind of hang around behind this wall, and they end up... For the first time, they played very aggressively on the very first attack when they took out Raucous at the very beginning. But now, they do it again, and I think that's a really great job by the UK by changing up their entire strategy, and they have done an amazing job of singling out Sinatra. Everyone else is completely on the other side of the bus, and they can't really do anything to help him. So Sinatra, on his own, no teammates nearby. What does this man do? He uses Graph. He uses Graph. So, okay. So as you before, oh, it was such a bad grab. It was such a bad grab. Boombox has Coalescence. They use Coalescence to engage, right? So Boombox already is pumping his grab teammates full of healing. Sinatra is already dead, and in a grab situation, Sinatra's supposed to be putting down the bulk of the damage. The entirety of this team is not in a very good position to be able to take advantage of the grab tanks and Brigida anyways. This was just such a bad grab. It just didn't end up working out. Sinatra gets taken out. The USA tries to come in and do something. They do manage to take out Kib, but Cruz takes out Raucous at the same time. Let's go back real quick and see what happened to Raucous. Let's see what happened to Raucous here. He comes around here. He tries to do something. He backs off, and yep. So, and then he just gets singled out once again. Raucous goes off kind of a little bit alone from the rest of his team, and which isn't what you want to do when you're trying to run GOATs. It feels like they're trying to use Raucous as maybe another damage dealer, but it's just not working, right? Raucous, once again, like in the other one, goes kind of a little bit farther apart from his team. He gets singled out by Mikey A, and I think Cruz as well. Yeah, Cruz did get the final blow, and just gets melted. So there's nothing that can be done there. And now this is a very interesting thing. Hydration takes out Kib. So now there's a 4v5 situation. Fusions is almost dead. There's a 4v5 situation for the USA, and they decide to push in. Now there's definitely some at least kind of keep up the pressure, which there is some merit behind it, especially considering USA's respawns have a lot less distance to travel than the United Kingdom's respawns, and I think the USA are starting to feel a little bit of desperation because we are now within a minute. So 4v5. Oh, whoops! I accidentally pressed F. So we're gonna watch that grab again. Everyone dies. So like we said, Muma and Space are going to push in a little bit. They're just gonna keep up the pressure here. They're not actually going to really commit yet. And now they're about to commit. Hydration's about to use the rally and commit. So Space and Muma are getting the rally armor. But Sinatra isn't back yet. He's not getting it. Raucous is wow. Okay. What is this? Is that like his belt? Is that his that's his Team America belt. His belt doesn't want Okay. So that's a bug. We can submit that to the US forums. Not sure. That just looks so funny. Raucous is getting a hell of a wedgie right now. But more importantly, he is way behind the rest of his team, and Raucous is of course playing one of the slowest characters in the game. He does have his Transcendence when he does get back, but the United States, I guess they are taking on the 5v5 here, because if you look over here, Kib is just getting out of spawn right now. So they are taking, I think the United States, I was going to say this was bad call by the United States to push in here, but no, actually, this is a pretty good decision, because Raucous has a lot less distance to travel than Kib does on the other side for this 5v5, and soon to be 5v6. So, let's see how this plays out for a second. Muma shatters, and again, doesn't get any... Oh, actually, never mind. It gets a couple. It gets Boombox and Mikey A. Mikey puts out a good bubble on the fusions to keep him up. And to counter, Cruz once again with a very good sound barrier to keep everyone sustained, especially since Muma went ahead and just charged in the fusions. Not much he could have done there. So let's go ahead and play through this a little more. Raucous is now back to the fight. Let's see where Kib is. Kib actually has made it back as well. So both players actually made it back just about at the same time. I guess it's because Brigitte just has more movement options. She's faster. But yeah, so I guess that decision by the U.S. maybe has such a reasoning behind it, but it didn't end up working out that well because now we're back to a 6v6 in the fight here. Now this is big. This is big. Now let's go back for a second here because I went a little too far. But look at who Fusions gets with his shatter. So a lot of things are happening right now. A lot of things are but with Fusion's shatter, he manages to pick off. Well, not pick off. He manages to knock down not just as Sinatra, but more importantly, the rallying hydration Brigitte. This is a giant priority target for the UK right now. They want to take out the rallying Brigitte as soon as possible, and this is a big chance to do so. So let's take a look at what happens here. Did Fusions... Oh, God. So let's just watch it through. Let's watch it through, and then we'll break it down. That's just gross. So the U.S. gets team killed off of the back of a great grab by Mikey A. Gets everyone, they get wiped. So that's what we saw. We saw the wipe. So there wasn't much that the United States could have done there to prevent this, except, of course, kill them earlier. The only person that could have done something was Space eating the grab. So let's go back real quick and see. Let's see what happened to Space here. So it goes down. You see him kind of trying to protect the rallying hydration, and he gets pinned. He gets pinned. He's now out of position. He's also out of D Matrix, and he's out of position, out of D Matrix, and he gets pushed. So he gets pinned. But how did Space get pinned? I thought Fusions was trying to get the out of position. I thought Space was trying to get the out of position. Sorry, I thought Fusions was trying to get the knockdown. Sorry, I'm having trouble figuring out. I thought Fusions was trying to get the knocked down rallying Brigitte. So let's go back one more time from Fusion's perspective and see what happened here. He got booped. He got booped. And now one more time from Moth's perspective. This is just so unfortunate. So we'll look at it again. This time from Moth's perspective. He boops Fusions out of the way of the Brigitte. That's success. But his new momentum puts him right into Space. He gets Space out of position. He makes Space use the rest of his D Matrix. The grab comes out. Everyone gets caught in it. And we have ourselves a team wipe. Crazy. Crazy. I would team kill, absolutely. I would say that was even just unlucky on the United States. I did definitely not what Moth wanted to happen. There were so many people on there. It seemed like the UK was going to end up... It seemed like Fusions, with the way he was going, was probably going to get somebody. But the fact that he ended up running into Space, who was the only person who could possibly have stopped that... who possibly could have stopped anything happening here. Stopped the grab before it happened. It just sucks. And now the United States, will just let this play out in a second. The United States has 16 seconds left. They only have the self-destruct from Space. The United Kingdom has 4 ults online. The United States invested everything. The United Kingdom didn't have to invest nearly as much. I think it was just... Okay, no, they shattered. Fusion's actually... Let's give Fusion some props. He just used his shatter a few seconds ago and is now about to get another one. So great stuff from Fusions there. Fusions really pulled through with his team a lot. And yeah, so they used the grab, they used the shatter, they used the beat. Fusion, and they now have the other 3 up. Meanwhile, the United States are only going to have their self-destruct. And well, we're just going to let this play out because it is desperation time for Team USA. There's not really much they can do about this when they're running into 4 ultimates right now. Rally comes out, Coalescence comes out, Space manages to get on the point, Muma is picked off. Let's quickly go back and see what happened to Muma. Let's see what happened to Muma there that caused him to get picked off. That was kind of an ill-advised charge. I think that was kind of a Hail Mary play from Muma to try and take out the coalescing boombox, the ulting boombox, but he misses and gets melted. I think at that point, I can't fault Muma much for this because the game is pretty much over, and the only way the United States are going to do anything is by pulling off one of those risky Hail Mary plays. So props to Muma for going for it. Doesn't end up working out. Space does end up getting onto the point, but he does get melted, and he ends up dying before he can remech. Mikey A kills Space. Hydration is now onto the point, trying to do something. He gets taken out. Muma can't get on the point in time. And that is the end of the match. The United Kingdom will win this. The United Kingdom win this game. They will go on to win the rest of the other 2 maps and win the game 2-1. So, man, what can I take away from this? Let's turn my webcam back on. What can I take away from this? I think we need to be, first of all, it's not as much Muma's fault as I think we all thought it was at the beginning. I think it was a lot of very good counterplay to Muma from the UK side. I think Muma did what he could. I also think it's very clear we should know that these fights get derailed when it comes to Goats v Goats. These fights get derailed when it comes to the smallest things. When it comes to Mikey A booping Muma just a foot to the right during his charge. When it comes to Moth booping Fusions into his diva accidentally. It's these tiny little things that end up derailing the entire game for the USA, my bad. They end up derailing the entire attack for the USA, and there's nothing that they can do about it. There's just nothing. There's nothing that can be done. So the USA does end up losing this map, and they will lose the next 2 maps as well. And gosh, I think the USA, they were overconfident. They were kind of sloppy on their ult usage. The UK were just the better team there. They made their opportunities. They capitalized on the other team's mistakes. That's pretty much what you need to do to win in this game. So that's all I can say. So hopefully, after watching this video, you have a better understanding of how the United States got full held by the United Kingdom on King's Row. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, this is kind of a test to see how these kinds of videos would do on my channel. And if you enjoyed it, let me know. If there's something you think I can improve on, let me know in the comments. And again, if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe for more competitive Overwatch content. I try and make a video at least once a week. Sometimes more. Since there's a video here, there's at least 1 more that I'm planning to do this week. Maybe 2, because it's a special weekend, you know? So, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. But until then, that's all for me. Don't get tilted.